Hi everyone. I just decided to put this short video together just to, I suppose, revise what we did in class last week. And for those of you that weren't able to attend the class, this is most of what we covered in the class. So hopefully you'll find that it helps. So we started talking about natural numbers, and natural numbers are positive whole numbers. So basically the numbers that start at 1 and go on forever, on to infinity. But they're only ever whole numbers, so there's no decimals and there's no fractions, okay, and there are no negative numbers, okay. So I'm going to start off really basic here with a number line, but as I said in class, the reason I'm starting this with the number line is just to get us used to the number line for when we move on to the integers. Okay, so let's say we had a very simple sum. Okay, so let's say we had 2 plus 3. Oops, where did 2 go? 2 plus 3. Okay, now we all know the answer to that, but I just want to demonstrate how you do it using the number line. Okay, so I'm just going to move to my drawing tool here. I'm going to get my pen. So it's 2 plus 3. The first number is 2, so I find the number 2 on the number line. And then it's plus 3, so I'm going to move to the right 1, 2, 3 places, okay? And I end up at the number 5. So my answer is 5. Is that okay? So I just go up here and I put in my answer of 5. Now, let's take another example. This time, let's say it's a subtraction sum. Okay, so let's say we've got 9 minus 7. Okay, so again, we all know the answer to that, but how do we do it? Find out the answer using the number line. Okay, let me erase these here. Okay, it doesn't seem to want to erase that one there. Let's try and work around it. So we've got 9 minus 7. Okay, so 9 is the first part of the sum, so I go and I find 9 on the number line. And I start there. Now this time it's minus 7, so I'm going to move backwards on the number line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Is that okay? And I end up at the number 2. Is that okay? So my answer is 2. I go back up here and I fill in my answer of 2. Now, if I scroll down my page here, you'll see a larger number line. So this is going from the number 1 up to 20, and the principle is exact same. So let's say I have a bigger number here. Okay, so let's say I have the number maybe 6 plus 7. Okay, so again, we all know the answer to this, but how do we find the answer using the number line? So 6 plus 7, 6 is the first part of the sum, so I go and I find the number 6 on the number line. Here it is, and it's plus 7, so I'm moving to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I end up with the number 13. Is that okay? So I go back up here and I type in the number 13. Okay, last one here with the natural numbers. Let's say, I'm just going to rub out these ones here. And let's say I have a sum, let's just say 15 minus 9, okay, minus 9. Okay, so again, how do I do that using the number line? Well, 15 is the first part of the sum, so I go and I find the number 15. Here it is here. And then I'm going to take away 9, so I'm moving backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So I end up at the number 6. Okay, so I just go back up here and I put in the number 6. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next number line, which is the integer number line. Okay, so we're going to move on to our negative number. So if I scroll down here, here we go with our negative our integer number line, okay? And I know it's my integer number line because I've got my 0 here in the middle, and I have my positive numbers on the right hand side, and I have my negative numbers on the left hand side. Okay, so if we remember from our notes, integers are positive and negative whole numbers. Okay, so they're not fractions, they're not decimals, they're whole numbers, but they do include the negative as well as the positive. Okay, so now going back to maybe doing some simple sums using the number line to help us. So if I take a sum like 5 minus 8, okay, and we say, well, what is that? Now normally you might say, well, if you've got 5 you can't take away 8, but when we're dealing with integers we can. So I'm going to go back up here to my drawing tool, and it says, okay, 5 minus 8, 5 is the first part of the sum, so that's always where you start. You go and you find that on the number line, so it's a positive 5, and you're taking away 8, so you're working your way back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so I end up with minus 3, and really important to put in that minus sign, otherwise your answer would be wrong. It would be a positive 3. Okay, let's try a few more of these. So my next sum, let's say we want minus 2 plus 7. Okay, so this time we're starting off with a negative number. Okay, it's starting off with minus 2, so the first thing I do is go and find minus 2 on the number line. So your negative 2 is here, and we're adding 7 to it, so we're working our way up to the right hand side of the number line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and we end up at a positive 5. Is that okay? So I put down here and I'm putting in my answer. I don't need to put in the plus sign, because if you've no sign in front of it, we assume that it's a positive 5. Okay, let's take another example. Let's say we have minus 4 minus 6. Okay, space that out a bit so you can see it. Okay, so this one is a little bit different because we've got two negatives here, minus 4, and you're taking away a further 6. If we try and think of what that would mean in real life, what that might look like, you could say it was minus 4 degrees outside and it got 6 degrees colder. So it's minus 4 minus another 6. So the rule still applies. We go to our number line, we find the first part of the sum, which is a minus 4. Okay, so that's here on the number line. And we're taking away a 6, so we're working our way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we end up at minus 10 or a negative 10. Is that okay? Alrighty. Let's do just one more example of that. Let's say we had minus 2 minus 11 equals. Okay. So it's minus 2 minus 11. Okay. So we find the first digit on the number line, which is minus 2, up here, and we're taking away 11, so we're working our way towards the left again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And we end up with minus 13. Okay, so that is a brief introduction to adding and subtracting natural numbers using the number line, and then the integers using the number line. Okay, and just if we can get used to it and get some of those ideas into our head, practice as many times as you like, set your own sums, see what answer you get, and I hope this helps with the homework that I'll be given and the worksheets that I'll be given, and we can discuss it in class as well. Okay, thanks for listening.